Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Invasion, a movie I think by the Dutch, as near as I could tell, Dutch Film Works. So I assume they are actually Dutch, and it's kind of both a low budget and high budget affair. I think it's a high budget affair for Dutch Film Works, but a low budget affair compared to an American movie, and I'm very confused by it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 16. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. And speaking of the Pineys, I'm doing an event today, and all week I've been saying it's at 7 p.m. It's not. It's at 2. I apologize to anybody who is coming out. It's at the Hamilton Center, not the Hamilton Senior Center. I'm having a Monday, excuse me. So I apologize to any confusion that it may have caused anybody coming out to see me. I've been saying 7 p.m. all week, and Hamilton Senior Center, there are seniors there, but it's not the Hamilton Senior Center. It's at the Hamilton Center. Sorry, there's 3 places in Hamilton with that very similar names, and I wrote what looked like a 7 on my calendar, so I apologize. Anyhow, one of the countries is named in the film as Veragua. Now, Veragua, I looked up. I thought, oh, is this a fake country? No, it's a province, or was a province, in Central America during the 16th century, right? And so they used that name, and it eventually turned into Panama. But I don't think they use that name anymore. It doesn't look like they've used it since 1903. So I'm not sure why they decided to use it in the movie. Maybe that's what they call Panama there. I don't know. But there's an invasion, I think, by Panama of a neighboring South American country. And I'm not sure what the neighboring country is. But it's supposed to be, some of these tin pot dictatorships fighting over each other. Or some rebels. There's some rebels involved too. Screenplay by Philip Del Mar. Oh, I'm having a day. What a Monday. And Lucas De Ward. An idea by Errol Nancy, who also produced it. And then a film by Bobby Boriums from Dutch Film Works. So I'm assuming it's Dutch. Most of it's not in English. It has lines like this: "We're going covert." So there's also a helicopter in it that appears to be a Coast Guard helicopter. It has a different insignia on it, so it gets shot down. It looked like an American chopper at first to me, but appears to be foreign. Very similar design. Not supposed to be shot down, and then they have to send this commando dude in to save the ambassador. So the first act, the war kicks off at tropical paradise. The ambassador tries to escape in the Coast Guard helicopter. They crash, and he has to go in to save him. But there's lots of kind of tropey lines like "no more escalation," what was the other line? The other line was something like "see you on the other side." Yeah, that was it. Stuff like that. So the screenplay appears to be very cut and dry in terms of the dialogue. Like they're trying hard to, I think, measure up to American films. Really kind of not succeeding for me. Now they do have some nice production values, like this scene where he's jumping out of a plane. So that's nice. He has to jump out of a civilian plane in order to get there. For some reason, he does it in the day. Why wouldn't they shoot a civilian plane down? I don't know. Um, there's this scene where he shoots over a driver to get at a dude. That just seems insane, but okay. And then there's a line in the you know trailer here. It says every war becomes personal. I guess that's sort of an odd line. But I don't know. Some of the direction, everything, some of the stuff looks too clean. Like this scene, the explosion is way over here. Here are the stuntmen. You know what I mean? At least they're doing practical effects. I'll give them that. I mean, there is some nice production value in this, but I just don't believe the dialogue at all. At all. So, and I assume he saves the ambassador at the end. The rebels have taken over. So I'm not sure what flag that is. You can see it on his arm. Again, a little too bright. Everybody's a little too clean for a war. So, they're trying. It seems to me that they're trying to do a military movie. I'm just not buying it. It just feels very sort of cut and dry. Not quite the level. It's definitely above the level, say, a soap opera. But it kind of feels like a TV movie. I mean, the cinematography, some of it's nice. Like, this is nice, I guess. This fake emergency room they built. It doesn't look bad. But, it's kind of weird as an American seeing a military movie that takes place without us in it. Right? Because our movies, man, they spent a lot of money on our movies. So this, I don't know where they shot this. That looks like a shipping container behind him, doesn't it? That wall. And yeah, it doesn't look. It just doesn't look high end enough for me. And I find it hard, and this is going to be weird to say, but as an American, I find it hard to get interested in two South American or Central American countries, very tiny, battling it out. I find it hard to be all that concerned about it because it feels like, from my perspective, the Americans could just come in and say, hey, you two, stop that. And they'd have to stop. And we could send the Marines in. Yeah, that's just give them back their ambassador. Just we wouldn't even send the Marines. We would just it would just be a phone call. Especially today, right? So it just doesn't look compelling. It feels like it's trying a little too hard. I think it needed to go into the detail of the conflict more for me, because I just can't get interested in it. I don't really know the characters all that well. It doesn't feel like a personal mission to some of them. Like if it had been the guy's wife or uncle or father, something like that, then I'd be like, oh, okay, he's trying to save his dad. But this just feels like a very generic plot. Like, it might have sounded good in their heads, but the actual execution doesn't. I'm not feeling the intensity here. I'm not feeling the need for this. And again, like, as an American, like, if it had been an American situation, you would have had to have escalated it, right? It would have to be like the Panamanians have a nuclear weapon and we have to get it back, or else we're on the brink of World War III. Here, it feels like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen here, right? It's not going to be World War III. They'll capture the ambassador and eventually they'll give him back. Like, the stakes don't feel high for a military movie. So, would I see it? Probably not. I might dip into it just to see how the Dutch handle a military movie, but my vibe is not not too great. Let's read the write up. When neighboring country Veragua suddenly attacks Curacao. Let's look up that country. I suspect it's another province. Yeah, it's another Dutch. Oh, this is an actual country. It's an island country within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Okay. All right, so this is the other country. So it's Panama and Curacao. All right, and they're still around. Very tiny countries. So tiny, I haven't even heard of them. Jesus. That is small. But they are definitely still a country? Let's see. Climate, fauna. December 2008, Curacao was again scheduled to become a separate country. And so I guess it's finally become its own country. It's an autonomous region. Okay. All right. So it's Veragua, Panama, essentially, attacking this little Dutch island and Aruba. The Dutch government is taken completely by surprise. Okay, so I guess these guys are Dutch. The conflict escalates rapidly. 3 young Dutch Corps recruits must figure out what is the right thing to do. Yeah, it's an odd way of phrasing it. See, because our military, it wouldn't be about figuring out the right thing to do. It'd be like they're following orders. They don't get to make that decision on the ground. They don't go back to their commander and said, where's the ambassador? Oh, well, we didn't want to shoot people. We felt it was the right thing to do to come back. But I guess they maybe they flaunt their orders, right? Maybe they have an orders not to go in, but they go in anyway to save the ambassador. But again, that needs to be more personal, I think. But this is a different kind of movie. It's a Dutch movie. So I don't know. I may and here's the weird thing too. You know, they have fake military stuff to shoot this thing, but maybe it's real. Maybe it's all real. Maybe it's all been used by the filmmakers with permission of the Dutch government, and this is the best they have. But it looks cheap, right? As compared to the American stuff. So maybe they got use of everything, and yet I'm looking at it going, that doesn't look 100% to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it would be interesting to watch. Quite frankly, though, I'd be more interested in seeing a short documentary about all these little countries and what they're actually doing. But I don't know if I don't think I'd find it a compelling drama. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. I'm having a Monday. I'm having a rough Monday. Anyhow, join me at the Hamilton Center at 2 p.m. today, if you'd like. I'm not sure. It's a nursing home place, so it may not be open to the public. Call ahead. It's at 2 p.m. in Hamilton, New Jersey. Sorry for the confusion. We'll see you in the next one.